satisfaction with the system of first past the post. Eventually, and there was also pressure from parties that they did not get any representation in Parliament, although they did secure 7%, 8% of the vote. So it was felt that if we adopt this government system, keep constituency candidates also on the ballot paper, and vote for parties. What made all these efforts come to naught was the lack of faith in political parties. People are mortally afraid that if political parties are given the right to nominate people on party list, we will get worse people in assembly than we have now. People are also unhappy about the party list of non-Muslim candidates. You see, the non-Muslim quota is filled through party lists, and the non-Muslim Pakistanis are very unhappy with that. They don't like the candidates that pick on that. And there is a movement going on that there should be direct election of the non-Muslim citizens of Pakistan. Now, recently, Asma Jahangir organized a major conference on election laws. And again, this meeting proposed that we should have some proportional representation system, PR system in this country. And the system of election should not be dismissed only because of the lack of maturity in the part of political parties. That is a process which will continue. So the debate is still going on, and the second part of the point that I would like to refer before I come to my association with FNF was a friend here asked about liberals in Pakistan. Now, there is no formal liberal party in Pakistan, but there are millions of liberals in Pakistan. You see, the other day, Maulana Rehman declared again for the third time that he will not allow Pakistan to become a liberal country. So he has offered you a dividing line. All those who stand with Maulana Rehman are not liberal. All those who stand separately from Rehman are liberal. So you will find liberals in Noon League, not very many, but some. You will find them in PTI. I wonder how many there are. These are other parties. Now one can have difference of opinion with liberal parties or liberal politics, but liberalism is basically freedom to think. It is basically opposed to dogmatism. It's opposed to having things settled forever. So that kind of liberalism is there, and an agriculturist who gives up the traditional way of cultivation and goes into a modernized way of thinking, he is also on the path of liberalism. Now, therefore, in any case, the question as to how many we are should not worry anyone. I remember when Human Rights Commission of Pakistan was founded in 1986, and we went to different people asking them to join us. They looked at us and said, "You are talking of human rights? Are we human?" So that was the state of affairs in Pakistan under the horrible dictatorship of Ziaul-Haq. And we used to tell them, people, and they were not ordinary people in the street. I am talking of lawyers, journalists, doctors, privileged people in society. So we used to say, if you cease to believe, if you believe that you are not human, you will cease to be human. You see, the consciousness of being human is the beginning of your work as a human rights activist. Just as nations may be dominant, it is only when they recognize and realize that they are a nation that they become a nation. So to act as a human being also means becoming a human being. And we may be few, but all good things begin with few people. No great philosophy, ideology or religion has started with a majority. It is always a small, tiny minority which sets out to turn and convince people and persuade them. So whatever one is doing, the fact that more people are opposed to them should be a challenge and not a verdict against working. I am very happy to be with you. I am very happy to be here. When I started working for human rights in 1986, and Human Rights Commission began as a self-supporting organization. For 3 years, it did not receive any support from anyone. All its members worked on their own, spent money from their own pockets. There was a small office on House Road with 1 broken table and 2 broken chairs, and an old typewriter which refused to function whenever we tried to use it. After 3 years, Frederick Norman Foundation came to address. This foundation was the first partner of Human Rights Commission. In 1990. And that was the time when foundation did not have a representative in Pakistan. Pakistan was managed by office in Kathmandu. So IAF had a representative in Kathmandu. Yeah, Gabriel Ram. And he used to come to Pakistan. Mr. Anwar had a predecessor there. I have forgotten his name.
92, I had
Yes. So because of that, since FNF was the first partner of Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, without HRCT asking for help, they came and said, we want to help you. And this foundation was followed by Norwegians. So for that reason, anybody who was works in Human Rights Commission of Pakistan has a special corner for FLF. Whether our partnership has been, I am habitually using the word our because I have retired now. I have no responsibility in the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, although I am a member still, an activist. So we have, why? It's not really, it's a partnership in which we have learned together. Working together has also been meaning of learning together, exploring the space, which was not there. There were no textbooks for us, no written down rules for us, no marked pathways for us. So we had to explore everything. We had to explore whether we can talk of women, to what extent we can talk of women. Can we talk of minorities? Can we mention Ahmadis? Can we do something for the Christians of Pakistan? Or for the voiceless Kohlis of Pakistan? Should we talk of democracy? When we started talking of democracy, a leading newspaper wrote an editorial saying, what business have you to talk of democracy? You are for human rights. So stay there. Editorial in an English daily. We did not reply. We left them to learn by themselves. Even today, the Honorable Government of Pakistan has a problem with all civil society organizations that talk of democracy, that talk of minority rights, that talk of women's empowerment, that talk of the dignity of human beings. And because of their attitude toward civil society organizations, they have been behaving very, very atrociously towards international organizations as well. As you know, many of these international organizations are not being allowed to work in Pakistan. Some of them are sitting abroad, some of them don't have their visas, they have their difficulties. Now all of us have been told to get registered with the Economic Affairs Division, and new and stricter rules are being framed. In Punjab in particular, in the districts, no human rights work is allowed because the DCOs or the DPOs refuse to give them permission. But this doesn't mean that we can stop our work. We will continue. We will have to do that. We, thanks to FNF, I had the privilege to be in Berlin on 1st September 1990. The most auspicious date in German history when the two parts were united. And I also had the privilege of attending several very important meetings which were organized by the foundation in Germany. I said that we learned to explore things together. In particular, I would like to mention that our meetings with the resident representatives of FLF in Pakistan were always marked by academic discussions on things which went beyond the day-to-day working together. The kind of things that our distinguished friend from Delhi was mentioning to you about the rise of AFT and the rise of the extreme right, and whether this means a retreat for democracy or whether democracy has the... And I'm glad that he disagreed with those who think that the rise of extreme right in some parts of Europe is going to swallow and smother democracy. No, it won't. But the problem that we have here is that Pakistan is becoming more and more of an intolerant society. We were good Muslims 40 years ago, we were good Muslims 70 years ago, but after the Jawad, we are being converted to Islam every third year. And the more of it we have, the more unreasonable and more intolerant our society becomes. The kind of things that are being said these days, I could not have imagined 40 years ago. The main problem is that the freedom of expression and the freedom of thought is being assiduously curtailed. There is no intra-religion discussion in Pakistan. When I was a boy, and I'm quite old now, we could discuss everything about Islam except God and His Prophet. Sir Sayyid could say, I do not accept Hadith. Allama Iqbal could say, I do not accept Hadith. You can't say that today. They are changing the meaning of Musalman. Everybody knew 40 years ago that every kalma go was a Muslim. Finished. Has anybody, when the question arose in Prophet's time about the funeral prayers of a person, and somebody said he was not a Muslim, so he asked, may anybody can give any evidence? So one man said, yes, I heard him reciting the kalima. He said, great, he was Muslim. Now we are being told that there is something to be said about this thing. And what is more important is that the state has completely surrendered to this kind of hocus pocus. They do not have in Jawad period, religious parties used to hold their processions in Islamabad, and the staff of the CDA used to bring their stairs and CDs and all that and hang their banners. That stopped for some time. But now it is back. Why I am saying this? Because I think the work of all of you will become harder. You see, if everything is to be tested, many years ago we had a problem and we questioned that if students want to study medicine, why should it be necessary that they should pass the Islamiyat subject? We fail. Even today, a boy or a girl trying to seek admission to a medical college, if she fails in Islamiyat, she won't become a doctor. And if you want to extend that kind of rule, you will have morals. The other day in Karachi, we attended a meeting on third. This is one of the great tragedies of the present age. There are organized schools to convert the non-Muslim population of third to Islam. I call it forcible conversion, which is not allowed by any religion. And nobody can stop it. I cannot go to Nagar Parker without a permit. I cannot spend a night there. But those having that banner of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, they are allowed there. They are being given land. They are being facilitated, and they are being encouraged to abduct non-Muslim girls and convert them and marry them. So it is kind of atmosphere and environment. And my friend Mr. Bullock is sitting there. His province was the most secular of the parts of Pakistan. It was politically the most advanced province of Pakistan. But we go there now. There have been incidents when girls' schools have been demolished in Balochistan. That we don't allow you to study. Blasphemy cases have been registered against non-Muslims. Forcible conversion is taking place. In Kalak, they are living in a ghetto because the land allotted to them to live there has become much too small for the increasing population of the non-Muslims. They can't move out because moving out means quote in danger to life. And nobody is doing anything about it. So, the challenges are increasing. And the challenges are also increasing. For instance, you have been discussing democracy in the digital age. To my mind, digital age means much greater facility to spread democracy than before. Without the old methods and techniques of getting to the people, you can reach them. But what do you do about a country where 40% of the school-going children are still not in school? What do you do about this age? You see? If our wish that children in primary school should learn modern technology of communication, they should learn how to use computers, how to be online, how to benefit from all digital information communication system, then of course we will have the full benefit of the modern technology. So in our situation, not only educating the children of Pakistan becomes a priority, but what education? We have been working on this for some time, and we found that madrasas are blamed, okay, but what is the kind of education that is being imparted in public schools? Worse. Our public education system is turning out more mullahs than the madrasas put together. And nobody cares. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government, past government, changed a few things in the textbooks. Those textbooks were not allowed to be distributed. They were rot in the godowns. In Punjab, one or two chapters were changed, and the mighty Shahbaz Sharif said no. So unless you decide on what kind of human being you want your children to become, how can you raise a superstructure of democracy? You can't. The first lesson of democracy is that all are equal, all citizens are equal. We fail that test miserably. In Pakistan, women will not be equal to men for the next 100 years. In Pakistan, rich will not be equal to the poor in Pakistan. And the Baloch and the Sindhis and the Pakhtuns will never be equal to Punjabi in Pakistan. So how can you establish a democracy in a country which prides on inequality, which prides itself on its ignorance, and which prides itself on the rule of violence and rejects the rule of reason? So I don't want to frighten you, and I am certainly not, I am worried, but not frightened. But only to emphasize, now that you have done me the honor of allowing me to speak to you, although you know many things more and more clearly than I do, that please do not lose heart. We are capable of overcoming all these things that I have been mentioning, and more that will occur to us. You see, I was a journalist for many years. There was a time when journalists used to be arrested, or cases were instituted against them, or their publications were suspended, and there was always case something. Now all that has stopped. Journalists only disappear. Or they get beaten up. Things have come to a pass. In Karachi, somebody was telling me that we were going to hold a seminar on something, and there were two speakers. When the people arrived for the seminar, both the speakers were absent. They telephoned, we cannot come. We have been warned. We don't come. So this is the no case against anyone. You disappear. Disappearances is one of the most difficult issues in Pakistan today. The government is not serious. The Supreme Court has failed. The government has failed. And Only the other day, the Supreme Court said, we want to know the number of people you are holding in internment centers. These internment centers were established many, many years ago, and people are rotting there, waiting for trial. Nobody has been tried. And this is a stigma on the face of Pakistan. So let me not continue on this judge and not bore you with things. Allow me to say, I did not deserve the honor that you have done me, and I would again respect your judgment and compliment you on the work that you are doing, and I will only argue again that whatever the circumstances may be, there is no greater honor than fighting for the poor. Thank you very much.
Just shaking hands. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Rehman sir, thank you very much for your enriching and eye-opening statements and speech. We are proud of you. Please take a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we not only come to the end of this memorable session, but also we come to the end of this alumni meeting. Now, like we've been talking to each other for the last about 2 days, but just to formally say thank you to all the liberal fraternity of Freedom Daters, I would now like to invite Dr. Kaiser Bengali to come for the concluding remarks of the 15th alumni meeting of the Freedom Daters.
Thank you. Thank you. First, let me say a few words about Rehman sir. I also had the honor and privilege and pleasure of association for almost 40 years. He was an icon during our student days, and of course remains so more than ever. Times change always. There are different kinds of winds that blow, and politically. Sometimes hot, cold, sometimes from east, west, north, south. But Rehman sir has stood where he was like a rock. And this is a lesson that I have learned, and I think this is what we all have to learn, that it's very easy and tempting and convenient for us to succumb to expediency, do something that seems right today. But I think what Rehman sir has taught me is that today it may seem different, but what really matters are principles. And if you stand by principles, then you are where you are and you are respected as Rehman sir today deserves all our respect. We now turn to what we have achieved here. My personal thanks to Rehman Foundation for my association with it. Of course, there was a long period when I was not actively involved. That was largely the period when I was in government, in and out of government, for almost a decade. Very glad to be here, and I particularly want to thank Anwar Saab for remembering me and inviting me here. This is a family, as I always found, and this time also. Everybody knows everybody, we are close, pull each other's leg, crack jokes, laugh, dance, sing together. This is great. This camaraderie is really very good. And every time I recall, and this time also, there is a theme that is picked up, and we talk about the theme. The theme this time was digitalization. Of course, the extension of digitalization to democracy, to other aspects of life, a lot of things are new. It's not happening in Pakistan, but these are areas where it can happen. My own, I'm not an IT person. In fact, in one of the sessions yesterday, where they were telling us how to protect ourselves from abuse, we were asked to take out our phones, and I simply put it back because I couldn't handle it. But I know the power of IT. I have had 2 occasions to design programs. I designed the Bengali Income Support Program, and I designed the State Revenue Board, and we automated it completely. And we can see that there is not a single scandal about the ISP and not a single scandal about State Revenue Board. Because it's the power of IT that has actually done it. What we have, I think, learned, at least from my perspective, knowledge and understanding. I think the talk on certain aspects of IT, and on RTI, these are all new information, a lot of information that we got. So there was net learning that we are going back from here, and also understanding. We can learn without understanding, but I think we have learned with understanding. This reinforced liberal values in many ways. We discussed what it means to be a liberal, and this has been a very heavy discussion at times. Again very good. And Rehman Saab said, being a liberal means freedom to think. I think that is the think is what really stands. I think the subject of think also came up in our discussion somewhere or the other. You know. So this is, if you don't think, then obviously there's nothing more to talk about. I also feel that being a liberal means I have a view, but I acknowledge that there is another view as well, and he is not necessarily wrong. So there can be more than one view. That's what being a liberal to me means. Rehman Saab has painted a picture that we who live in Pakistan, who are somewhat on the frontiers of activism, we all feel the pressures. And he has warned that things are going to become more difficult, more challenging. And I think for us as liberals, even for FNF, it's time to think, how are we going to meet this challenge? We can be very confident in our own ways that we think we are liberals, we believe in liberalism, we believe in human rights, we believe in democracy, and that's enough, but it's not enough. The world around us is changing. It's becoming challenging, it's becoming difficult, as Rehman Saab said. And the question, I think, perhaps for FNF is the current normal course of activity of getting us together, 40, 30, 40, 50 of us together, can this stem the tide of authoritarianism that is coming? Or is there something more that we all need to do? All of us do something individually in our own spheres, but is there something more that we can do here? Great time, and I think we were asked in the morning to choose which was the best part of this program. Impulsively, I first went and stood by the dinner car, because that was the best time of yesterday, last evening was. Then I thought I should be more serious and I moved to RTI. Thank you very much, SNF, Mirsab, Dr. Rizal, Dr. Nardas, for joining us here and talking to us. And I want to appreciate having met half the people again and half the people for the first time and knowing you. Thank you. Great time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bengali. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I would like to thank you from my side and hand over the microphone to Rabia for the evaluation. And as soon as the evaluation is done, we will go for lunch, and immediately after lunch, everyone will be checking out and transporting back to your homes. And for that, Anwar Saab, Atif, and Rabia colleagues are there to assist you. Thank you.
Lahore, because we have arranged already posted. Perhaps there will be some traffic rush also. So maybe everybody will assemble quickly so that will be very convenient. Because 6 o'clock is flight and 5 o'clock our Karachi passport should be there.
Because of that, half of the roads are closed so the earlier the better.
So that's where already from our side it's ready.
I think you should announce one time.
One time.